Hello everybody, I'm Tychocelchuuu and welcome to a Men of War Assault Squad video. I know it's been a long time since my last video, but here we are at Men of War Assault Squad. I believe this is a 3v3. We'll know as soon as the names of the people show up in the loading screen, and I really don't have anything to say until the game starts, so I suppose I should not have started recording while it was loading, but you never know how long the game is going to take to load. Oh look, it was fast. Good, nobody has a crappy computer, so that's fun. And it's this map which everybody knows. I don't think it's called Lakeland. Lakeland is the one with the big lake on the side. This is called... I can never remember the names of the maps, but it doesn't matter. I'm not a huge fan of most of the 3v3 maps, and this one is probably about as good as they come. Maybe it is Lakeland. There's a big lake in the north. Well, I guess that's the south. They added these little north, south, east, west things on the minimap a few patches ago, and that's very helpful, except north is not up for this match, if you look very closely at the letters, which you can because this is in 1080p HD, and we are, of course, the British. You can tell that by the British accents on our troops. Got it, sir. Right away, sir. I'll build those sandbags, says Nick Murphy and his squad. And it looks like my squad came with 2 Bren people. Did I buy a machine gunner while I wasn't paying attention? Yes, I bought a machine gunner while I wasn't paying attention to this video. And so I bought a normal rifleman squad also. Not a rifleman squad, but a normal infantry squad right off the bat too, because they come with more sandbag people and they'll be more helpful for defending this point on the left, which is a very easy point to defend that I have, because it's on a hill, so you can see people coming from miles away. They don't have a lot of cover from buildings and stuff like that. But as far as my opponent goes, it's also not too tough for him to defend his point, because on the left I have to attack across a field, which is very difficult. On the right I can attack through the town, which gives me a lot more cover, but obviously it gives him quite a bit of cover too, and it can be very difficult to attack through this town. Things get painful, but we'll see how my attack through this town goes, because as you see, I've secured my point on the left right off the bat. Gotta pick up this cap. I was debating whether I should tell that squad leader to pick up the cap that got shot off. I'm not sure if wearing the field cap does anything. I think having a helmet will reduce the headshot damage and perhaps protect you from some explosions, but I have no idea if a field cap does anything, but certainly it makes you look snappy, and we cannot have our soldiers be looking like slobs on the battlefield. That would be not a good thing to have, because we are better than that. I think I just switched between 2 accents at that point. So you see here I'm deciding to support my opponents in the middle. It can be tough in the beginning of the game when you only have a squad or 2 to work with to push through and take your opponent's point. If they're not like asleep on the job, if they're paying attention and they're fighting as well as you're fighting, it's going to be really tough to push on through. You saw me make that first attempt with the 1 man. He just got mowed down. So at this point I usually send my excess reserve people to take the middle, because if you can take the middle, then that's going to be a big thing for the rest of the game, and they're going to have to take that back from you. Whereas if you fail taking the left, you're not helping anybody do anything. Looks like we've managed to take the middle, which is good, but they take it back almost immediately. One of my teammates here is Weed Nuke, who somehow friended me. I friended him on Steam. I'm not sure how that happened. Generally, I do not friend random fans on Steam, and I have friends requests from like 10 of you, like sitting in my Steam friends thing. I'm probably just gonna leave them there until it gets annoying. But when I reject those eventually, it's not because I hate you, it's because if I filled my friends list with every random Men of War fan who requested me, I would literally have a full friends list. Steam limits your friends list. I cannot fit that many people. And I do have the Tychocelchuuu fan club on Steam if you want to play Men of War with me and with other Tychocelchuuu fans, or if you want to play anything. That's what the Steam group is for, so join the Steam group instead of friending me. On Steam, I have to keep continually saying this, but somehow Weed Nuke made it work. I'm not sure what he did. Maybe I met him in game first or something, but he's playing, and he says he's bad at the game. I say I'm bad at the game. Everybody's bad at the game except for people who are good at the game, but whatever, we'll find out how good or bad we are sooner or later. But so they've taken the point back from us in the middle, and I'm really not doing anything to help out. I tend to, as you know, not spend a lot of resources when it would be better to maybe spend some more resources, but I think this has advantages. Saving your points for near the end of the match, or near the middle of the match at least, can pay big dividends, because if you let your opponents choose what sorts of things to sink the points into first, to see whether they're going heavy tanks, or lots of artillery, or elite infantry, stuff like that. If you let your opponents make these choices first, nice grenade there by me. By the way, if you saw that over the building, cooked it a bit, then it exploded. If you let your opponents make these sort of choices first, then you can choose how to respond, and although they're dictating the terms of the battlefield, they let you get the best counters, whereas if you blow all your points on whatever it is that you want early, or at least before your opponent does in the game, then they get to choose whatever is going to counter the stuff that you buy. And I don't think I've ever played British without having to choose between a Tetrarch and a Daimler armored car, and at least at this point I went with the Tetrarch. Perhaps because of its enhanced armor. It does not have quite the mobility, but I'm going to be using it to push through on the left, I think, and speed is not super important there because it's a fairly built up area aside from that field. And mostly I'm just worried about my Tetrarch getting close in and getting attacked, and so every little bit of armor is going to help there. Although I suppose really what's going to happen is that any AT grenade that hits it is going to kill it no matter what, so I guess I don't have to worry about armor, come to think of it. It does protect me from high caliber machine guns though, and low caliber like guns like anti-aircraft guns or something like that. So I pointed out to my teammates that the opponent is attacking over on the right. Hopefully they're not going to make it. They have to go across water, which is so difficult. But I don't think I'm going to be able to help out there. It's too far away. I don't want to bother, and I'm busy with my offense on the left, so I'm just like, I'm going to point this out for my ally, and that should be good enough. But here comes the Tetrarch, always, as you see, supporting it with infantry. Infantry are important to support the assault for two reasons. Number one, you need someone to scout for the enemy infantry. You're not going to see the enemy infantry most of the time with your tanks. They have limited sight ranges, limited sight. Ah, shit, run away, fuck, boom. So I suppose having armor protected me that time because the track only got damaged. So it's important to scout for your tanks. Number one, because they're not going to see enemy infantry. They just have limited sight ranges. And number two, even if they see enemy infantry, well, they won't, but the enemy infantry aren't going to stand up from behind their cover, and they're not going to fire. And firing and standing up from their cover makes them much easier to see and much easier to hit. But they're not going to do that at a tank. They're too smart. They're not just going to shoot at a tank for no reason. So you have to send an infantry to scout for your tank so that the enemy infantry pop up and shoot them. And also you have to send an infantry to scout for your tank so that some guy doesn't just rush up to your tank, throw an AT grenade, and nearly destroy it, which is what happened to me. You know who will shoot at enemy infantry, or you know what enemy people shoot? Tanks, no reason, guns, not gonna happen. You know where that happens? Company of Heroes. But that's okay, because that game is not supposed to be realistic, and if somebody's shooting at a tank, it means somebody can see the tank, it means the tank can see them. Although, in the new Company of Heroes 2, they've added what they call True Sight, and they give it this important fancy name to mask the fact that they've either never heard of Men of War, or they don't give a shit about Men of War, or the other video games that have done it. Basically, it's going to have realistic line of sight, just like Men of War does. If you're behind a building, you won't be seen from behind the building. And here you see me using armor-piercing shells to shoot through this building. I already killed one guy. Oh, now it's a guy attacking me. What's going to happen? He's running straight at my Tetrarch. Boom, you're dead. That took me quite a while, though. I guess the Tetrarch doesn't have a whole machine gun on the front, so you've got to swivel the turret around to shoot people. But yeah, using armor-piercing shells through these buildings, even if they're fairly low caliber and they lose a lot of speed piercing through the walls, it doesn't matter, right? Because an armor-piercing shell of any caliber from one of these things is going to kill somebody if it hits them, because it's just so big. Boom, that hurt. So it's very useful for sniping through buildings, sniping through walls and cover and stuff, and probably shooting through like 6 walls right there is not going to happen, but be shooting through stone cover is something very doable. And that's also helpful, not just because it will pierce the cover that the enemy infantry is hiding behind, but because if you just keep armor-piercing shells loaded in the gun of your tank the entire time, you're ready if an enemy vehicle shows up, because then you'll just have armor-piercing loaded and you can shoot at them rather than having to unload the HE or fire the HE and shoot the armor piercing. You know what I've never noticed? Does it take more time to unload a shell manually and then replace it with another shell than it does to fire it? Or do they just like press a button, boom, another armor piercing shell, sniper? Do they just press a button that drops the shell and reload it instantly? I don't know, I'll have to test that sometime. Or not, I'll just forget I said this in this video. We'll never know. Never know unless you tell us something like that. I would suspect it's just as fast to shoot an HE shell and then load an AP shell as it is to unload an HE shell and load an AP shell. So there's a stew. I have to run away. And it's probably going to shoot me anyways because it's going to shoot, but I'm trying to stay behind buildings, and there's an AT gun on the right, and I'm like, oh my god, Tetrarch, run. Run, little Tetrarch. Now is not the time for you to be making an assault. But you know it's not faster, shooting an HE shell than loading an AP shell, because it takes you have to know the hotkey. I think the hotkey's not space, is it? The space hotkey swaps between the guns down there, or does the right click hotkeys? Maybe space swaps the ammo. I think maybe space bar will swap the ammo. Maybe hitting the 0 button on your numpad swaps the ammo. I can never remember any of these hotkeys. I'm not a pro player. But yeah, now I'm trying to pull my Tetrarch out of here because there's an AT gun and a stew over there, and I figure my Tetrarch will be more useful in the middle of the map. Even though we own the middle of the map, the opponents have pushed over to the right hand side and decapped that point, which is very unfortunate. If you notice the points count right now, we're at 19, they're at 4, so although we have a lead, it's not a comfortable lead, although we're 5th towards victory, so that's good. Speaking of Company of Heroes, the Company of Heroes 2 beta starts in 2 days from when I'm recording this, so I'm probably not going to have any videos of that. They're not going to let us take videos of the closed beta, it looks like. But I'll be playing it, and I'll tell you guys how it is. I don't know, maybe I won't, actually, maybe I won't have any way to do it. But this Tetrarch is probably still a little close to the AT gun. It could reposition without too much trouble. And so I'm moving it, and the stew gets me. Stug, not a stew. Stug. Sturmgeschütz. Is it? No, is it Sturmgeschütz? I don't know if it's Sturmgeschütz. I think it's Sturmgeschütz. Whatever that means. Sturm means storm, and Geschütz means shooting? Storm shooting. Storm shooting. But whatever it is, wherever it is, it shot my Tetrarch in the side. Tetrarch is repairable though, so that's helpful, and luckily since it got hit in the side, sort of, it's a nice little wide base of cover for any infantry over there that want to hide behind it, repair it, something like that. And I'm repositioning tank crew to get ready to recruit that thing. So I'm not having a lot of luck attacking out the left, I'm not having a lot of luck attacking out the middle, but further forward, always forward with your troops. Never hold back. But I did buy a 17-pounder, so hopefully that'll let me snipe the Stug at some point. And I want to move these people forward into little bushes so they can start scouting for me. The more scouting that you have, the better things are going to go. I briefly moved that tank crewman over a bit to the right to be closer to the Tetrarch when it's repaired, but then I realized, no, you should stay behind the full wall, not the broken, half-destroyed wall, because the full wall will make you invisible from the enemy. So it looks like they have the middle locked down fairly well with overlapping fields of fire of machine guns, and you saw briefly they're toggling. I wanted to tell my 17-pounder not to fire at anyone who didn't shoot at him because I wanted to save it for the Stug. Then I'm like, well, no, if someone starts shooting at it, I should probably let the 17-pounder fire back, especially if it's a tank. But now I see the Stug, so I'm like, maybe I can just shoot down. So the 17-pounder is a really powerful gun, and I know the Stug front armor is super good, but I figure maybe it's worth taking the shots and trying to punch through, because sometimes you can get a lucky shot in on this thing, but it's out of range. It's at 160 meters or 160 units or 160 whatever it is Metavore uses to judge range, probably meters. Certainly not yards or feet, I can tell you that much. But yeah, that's not happening. So look at how many guns they've got in the middle. Little infantry people sitting down with MG42s, so this is going to be tough for us to hit. Looks like the cover might not be so fantastic actually in a few cases, but still is not going to be trivial for us to move in. And still assaulting through this town, still a bit of a pain just because there's always infantry there. I cleared a few out with my Tetrarch, but those days are long gone, and I'm not going to be able to get a grenade over to these people, it looks like. He just can't throw far enough, and he's getting shot at anyways, so it's like, whatever. Whatever, Howard Patel. Patel sounds like an Indian name. I wonder if he's an Indian dude. I think the Indians fought in World War II, but I'm not sure if they were on the Western Front at all. I have very little knowledge of these things. I shouldn't have used my British accent for that, because presumably British people would know. And I guess there was a Goliath over here. Killed a bunch of SAS, which is unfortunate. Those guys are not cheap. And look, the Tetrarch's repaired. Everybody in the Tetrarch. Everybody hop inside. Oh shit, when you get on top you get shot. Maybe if two people climb up at once, that would be too many to shoot. My thinking here was literally they have just fired and maybe they're reloading. And hilariously, it worked on the first guy and on the second guy. So, and the third guy wasn't even dead, but now he's dead and the Tetrarch's dead. Because the guy hit by a Pack 38 and a Pack 40 almost simultaneously. So that was really unfortunate for the Pack. Really unfortunate. Got it, sir. Give me rounds! Who needs rounds? Nobody's even shooting. But here we go. People shoot at. Boom! The Verbal drives in front of my crosshair, so I'm like, alright, let's take the shot. let's do it. And this is an unfortunate angle for me. It's probably going to rebound off the Stug, but if I can hit the tread, I figure I'm fine, and then it moves to a much better angle. The issue with the Stug is that it's got sloping armor, like, okay, well, I've penetrated, look. It's got sloping armor on the front, sort of if you hit on the front, but there's also parts of the front that are straight, like 90 degrees, and boom! Oh, did you see that? Yes! Yeah, motherfucker! Right in the vision slit. I'm not sure if the vision slit is a weak point because it's a vision slit, or if it's a weak point because, like I said, it's a straight 90-degree angle to the shell coming in, which means it won't reflect the shell at all. It won't deflect it at all. It will be like full piercing potential. Whatever it is, aim for that little vision slit to the sort of right, bottom right of the main gun on the Stug. And that is where you punch through. That is what I hit, and that is what I destroyed that thing with. That's good stuff. And he responds with an artillery barrage. He or she, Leutnancy, responds with an artillery barrage, so it's time to clear everybody out. Don't be afraid to abandon your defensive positions when you are not under assault. See how much more effective this artillery barrage would have been had it been coordinated with an assault rather than had it been just a punitive measure for the 17-pounder. So he's obviously trying to catch the 17-pounder here, but he should know he's not going to be accurate enough to nail it without getting lucky. And personally, I would have maybe taken the chance that he wouldn't have. So either coordinate an assault simultaneously with the artillery barrage, or if you don't have time to do that, wait until you have time and take the chance that the 17-pounder is not going to reposition far enough away. Because once you make your assault coordinate with the artillery barrage, what you can do is send in a scout or two first, try and find the 17-pounder. And once you locate the 17-pounder, then you can fire the artillery barrage and also do an assault. Just remember that there's two things that are going to happen whenever you launch artillery. Either your opponent's going to be good, and they're going to move away from the artillery, and that's your chance to move in and seize control, or they're going to be bad, and they're just going to get blown up by the artillery. And again, that's a chance to move in and seize control. You know, maybe do a bit of attack, do a bit of an assault, do a bit of a maybe kill some people, maybe move in and shoot some people, maybe blow up some people and use your guns and do some damage, you know. I'm not, yeah. Okay, so repositioning the 17-pounder, both because it's always a good thing to reposition after firing, and also because they want to move in on the left, and I suppose if I have a light tank, in this case a Tetrarch, and a 17-pounder covering the left, that should be good enough to move up. So the Tetrarch's actually not going to cover. The Tetrarch is going to be moving up to do the heavy fighting. The infantry are going to support the Tetrarch. Here we have a duel between a Crusader AA tank and a Velbavind AA tank, but here's a Pack 38, which I'm scared is going to kill the Crusader. But nice shooting by Wiednuke from his Crusader AA tank. Takes out the people on the Pack 38, and he good for him keeping the fire up. Kills the guy recruiting. Pack 38, he's got a nice little depression down here in this little stream, like Oxbow Lake sort of thing, and he's able to stay out of Pack 38's sight, so it looks like the Verbal Wind won't be able to damage him. Maybe he can damage the Verbal Wind, but he's got bigger things on his mind. So, the plan here is 17-pounder provides cover, destroys any tanks that show up, Tetrarch and infantry move up in conjunction, destroying any enemy opposition located. Roger Wilkinson is the squad leader. He will take a point, and Michael Palmer is a submachine gun infantryman. He will also take point because he drew the short straw. And Mark 7 Tetrarch, which unfortunately does not have... Oh, this guy's name is Rupert Gallagher. Gallagher. Gallagher, Roland Hall. I love these British names. So very British. Okay, so I found the first set of enemy infantry, lost one man, one submachine gunner, but it's located them for the Tetrarch to kill. Switch to armor-piercing rounds. Nope, just kidding. Switch to HE rounds and fire behind them, do some damage. Nope, I hit too far away. The shell, not large enough. It's a 2-pounder. Keeps not hitting the ground where I want. Keeps going further, but whatever. So now again, let's move up. Oh shit, it's a tank. Pull the Tetrarch back. Get the 17-pounder to shoot the tank. It looks like another Stug. 17-pounder. Well, that's fucked. And there's the Stug. Let's at least tell the 17-pounder to shoot it. Why are you not shooting? Lower, raise the barrel, aim, and fire. Fire. Nope, he's too far. So, in the history of assaults, that was not the best. This thing's on fire. It's going to blow up, so let's get the people away from it. Goodbye, sweet Tetrarch. We knew ye well. So now I'm basically down to an AT gun and a bunch of infantry. Infantry pushing forward is going to be tough. Going to be tough because they got infantry dug in, and infantry assaults are always tough. I'm trying to buy some SAS or commanders or something. Get some good long-range firepower. Commandos are better at close range. They've got like Sten guns and stuff, so I don't want them. SAS I'm thinking about buying, but I'm not even sure what guns they come with. I don't play the game enough to know what SAS do. But whatever it is, I want some powerful infantry to be able to shoot the enemy with rifles is what I need. I need standoff power to assault this point. Across this field is going to be tough. Through the thing is going to be tough. So now I'm direct controlling Frank Jackson, assault submachine gun infantryman, to use his Sten gun to attack these people. I find that in direct control you can often be more accurate and more damaging with your infantry weapons. You're just better at it than the AI is. So don't think that direct control is just for like shooting grenades or something. You can go into sort of third-person shooter mode and mow some people down and be pretty effective because you don't fire in as short of bursts, and you can aim and stuff, and I think your reaction time is better, and maybe even your aim is better. Brings back memories of Soldiers Heroes of World War II, where I would play the single-player campaign and just run around direct control mowing down enemies. It's not as easy as I make it sound. Like, these games are brutally hard in single player. Really fun in co-op though. If you can ever co-op Soldiers Heroes of World War II, I think that's even better than Men of War sometimes. But yeah, I remember running through like a town and with a submachine gun or something mowing down enemy infantry. Good times, verbal wind firing through the wall. That's bad, but maybe we can hit the verbal wind with the 17-pounder? Maybe the 17-pounder? Yes, okay, it's dead. Nice destruction right there. Got to say thank you to the verbal wind. But yes, if you own Soldiers Heroes of World War II or buy it off Steam, that is such a good co-op game. Oh man, good memories with Lollibo. And Men of War is pretty good in co-op too. Assault Squad is fun in co-op, but it doesn't have missions. It's got skirmish, which are fun, but not quite the same. So now we have artillery coming in. I should probably not be moving my 17-pounder towards it, but then I realized, oh look, the artillery is probably coming in on where the 17-pounder was, and that was just an arrow shell, so let's move away. But a shell does hit. This is a Vespa, by the way. Or a Wesp, however you want to say it. And a shell does hit my 17-pounder, and my 17-pounder is dead now, so that's really unfortunate. And it seems like the grouping was over here, not where the 17-pounder was, so I really should have not. I don't know where I should have moved. But so I buy some Anzac, Australian New Zealand Army Corps. Sorry, I'm yawning. Also, I have heard Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. I think it's the first one, but those are special infantry with the special points from the special pool of the special things, and they're also good at long range because a lot of them have rifles. One of them's got a machine gun. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have rifles. 1 has machine gun, and that leaves 4 with submachine guns. And they come with these awesome hats. Hello. Now that was British. How do an Australian? What do Australians sound like? An Australian accent. I can't really do accents at all. But the Australians are here, and Peter Webb. Peter Webb. God damn it. Peter Webb is here. John Powell's here. John Powell's not Australian. What I like is how the Anzac troops have the Australian, or I guess it's the New Zealand flag. Click on one of them, Tycho. Click. Yeah, that looks like New Zealand and United Kingdom flag. I don't know, but they got a different flag down the bottom left in their portrait, which is that's attention to detail. And if there's one thing the Men of War series is known for, the Soldiers and Heroes of World War II series is known for, it's attention to detail. Because what game is this detailed? I ask you. Very few games are this detailed. So, since my last video, or since a long time ago, they announced the next Men of War game, Call to Arms. They're doing the crowdfunding thing. Not going very well for them. I gotta say, nobody really wants to pay like them money to help them fund their basically shitty looking modern Men of War game. I'm sure it's gonna be a good game. It's by Digital Mindsoft. They're the ones behind Assault Squad and the original Men of War, not the ones behind the shitty Red Tide Condemned Heroes Vietnam games. So they're good people, but I mean, honestly, World War II is just more interesting than modern combat when it comes to this kind of fighting. Like, the mix between artillery and tanks and infantry and light vehicles and the rifles and the submachine guns and the machine guns, you're not going to find that sort of mix in modern combat. You look at their gameplay videos, and everybody's basically got an MG42 that's more accurate, because that's how modern assault rifles work, right? They have a smaller clip, but, like, they fire fast, they fire quickly. I just said the same thing twice. They're accurate, they're damaging. It's just like everybody's got a machine gun. It's not very interesting. And then all the tanks are like basically like the same. You don't have weird tanks like the Lee and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to the promised engine improvements. They say they're going to improve the performance of the engine, so that's good. But aside from that, it just looks like Men of War with, like, modern combat, and I don't like modern combat as much when it comes to strategy games. I'm sorry. If you want that, go play War Game European Escalation, or the upcoming sequel, War Game Air Land Battle. Somebody gifted me that on Steam, and I thought, oh, this is a fun real-time strategy game. Let me make some videos about this. Okay, number one, interface fucking sucks in that game. Like, Jesus Christ. There's a few fiddly things with selecting your units and stuff, like loading them into a troop transport is the most annoying thing in the world, but mostly, like, just knowing what is going on and being able to move to different parts of the map and select the different units you want and, like, just keeping tabs on your people is just so bad. It's a very pretty interface. It looks like some guy on a PDA or something with his little buttons from the 80s, but, like, it's just, it doesn't control the way I want a real-time strategy game to control. Compared to something like Men of War, Company of Heroes, or StarCraft 2, it's in the Stone Ages, and it's like, I can't play it. I just can't play War Game European Escalation. I'm sorry if you want to see any videos about that. There's some French guy who makes some videos of it if you search on YouTube. They're pretty good. He posts them in French and English, which is pretty dope. I cannot post the videos in French because I do not speak the French. I do not parler français. And French aren't even in Men of War, although they are in the German Soldiers mod, I believe. Hopefully I'll eventually get some videos of that up for you guys. But yeah, French people is what I was saying. So you see progress here on the left has been slow. I just keep getting shot. Basically all my Anzac troops are dead. Except for a couple of people I've got down here back behind sandbags. So I buy, with my hero points, a couple of massive artillery pieces. I'm like, whatever, fuck it. I need to start learning to use artillery because I don't use it very much, and I'm tired of getting barraged by this Vespa thing, so I figure a couple of artillery barrages soften up these infantry here, and maybe that'll make it easier to push in. This is not a great place to bring a mortar. The only place I could really stick a mortar is on the right in the town. Behind the town, and that's not an awful place, but it just probably wouldn't have quite the reach I need for this sort of thing, and it would be fairly vulnerable to assault. It's not too tough to get close to something in the town. What's tough is moving outside of the town, or pushing through the town in any sort of concerted manner. What I mean is they could make a mad dash for the mortar and probably kill it. So here you see me using one of my 25-pounders to support the assault in the middle. They've got some machine guns set up and ready there, so am I firing? Oh, by the way, one of my allies has a mortar here on the left. I'm not sure when that showed up. You can see it on the mini-map. It's the green triangle to the left of the point I'm holding. Or maybe we'll see it when I pan over there to the left. something like that. I don't know what he's doing. Like I said, a mortar, the only good place is really behind the town, but he's just got it positioned basically like just to the left of the point, which is way too far back to do anything. So he or she. I'm not sure why my ally sent... oh, by the way, my artillery barrage killing people. I'm not sure why my ally sent that mortar there. I mean, I suppose to be helpful. I'm not sure why my ally parked it there. If you don't want to babysit the mortar you send to your ally so it doesn't die, then that's a good place to put it. But it's not doing anything. It's like, then why send the mortar to the ally? Why would you send the mortar to the ally if it's not going to do anything? Was that a British accent? I don't know. There's too many. What are your thoughts, Tycho? Well, we're getting our ship pushed in. Flak 37, which is a Flak 88, just killed one of our tanks. Get shot left. That's my helpful thing. So there's the mortar. Look, the mortar by whatever the guy's name is, or the person's name is over there, and not doing a goddamn thing. Like, it's even in a nice little depression, so it keeps it even safer. But like, there's no reason. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm getting artillery. No reason to have that there. It's just. I mean, I shouldn't say no reason. If they launch an all-out infantry assault on my point, then the mortar's going to provide some good fire support. But they're not going to launch an all-out infantry assault on my point. I have not been attacked once on the left-hand side in this entire match. And number two, even if I was attacked, I'm ready for it. Look at all my people behind sandbags. I have like twice what this guy has over here. And you've seen how badly my assaults on this guy go. So if they pulled one of those on me, nothing good would come of it for them. So this mortar is being really unhelpful. Should at least reposition by the town if the mortar crew is trying to support me. Could at least reposition by the town. And look, I killed somebody. But otherwise, I would just pull the mortar back to your own point. So I purchased the SAS. Turns out one guy with a rifle, two guys with machine guns, one guy maybe with a rifle. He looks like a bazooka on the bottom right. I was looking at the silhouettes in the bottom right. When you select something, you see the little guys. Maybe I'll select my SAS squad again. Really unfortunate shot from the Stug 3 takes out this Cromwell from the side. That's what we get for exposing your side armor, I suppose, and now it's dead. So this is bad. Bad for us. I'm getting hungry. I should have eaten some food before doing this thing. But, yeah, it's looking pretty bad for us. They're at 75 points. We're at 19, which is, I think, what we were at last time I checked, back when they had 4 points. So you see our momentum was very, very good in the beginning. We got 1/5 the points we needed to win, and then subsequently it was shit. It was just shit from a butt. It was bad. And there's a sniper behind that wall. So here's the SAS, Hugh Harris, the SAS soldier, and there's the silhouettes in the bottom right. You notice the bazooka man is gone. This Nigel Watson dude, I suppose, was maybe the bazooka man. He comes with an AT rifle, and I figure this is fortuitous because the AT rifle will be able to destroy the Verbelwind, of which I have intelligence reports. There's a Verbelwind north of the, south of the village, covering the fire for the Germans. There's a Verbelwind position. That slipped into a German accent, but whatever. Nigel, you shall take your AT rifle and you shall shoot that Verbelwind, and it will be your job to neutralize it for us. But it's like way the fuck too far away for Nigel. So Nigel's just going to hide behind a wall for now. And he's going to wait for the Verbelwind to move forward. And when the Verbelwind moves forward, things will happen. So look, they made an assault. Finally, like the first guy to make an assault in this game past like the halfway point is that guy dead in the field who I shot. I guess you can also count to his right. If you go far over to the right and find that little wall, there have been people hiding behind that wall. But aside from that little wall and that guy across the field, so it looks like my allies tank just got hit by an artillery shell. I don't know. So yeah, this point that Tom James just ran past on the map that sort of destroyed the husk of a building, my enemy has not been past that point the entire game. So got to give him minus points for aggressiveness. And look, had we had better fighting in the middle and better fighting on the right, and had we held those points, that would have been like a huge game changer in terms of my opponent. PC-12 SS Hitlerjugend or something. Hitlerjugend sounds like a delightful person. This person has not attacked across the thing the entire game, and that's a deplorable lack of... okay, everybody's dead, by the way. The verbal wind finally moving up. It's just destroying Nigel. It's destroying the guy who's trying to take Nigel's gun. It's destroying the guy who's trying to take the gun after the guy was destroyed trying to take Nigel's gun. Now Malcolm Shaw, a special air service soldier extraordinaire, picks up the AT rifle, aims at the verbal wind, fire, diddly shit happens, then he gets killed. So that's like the 4th guy killed trying to get that rifle. Finally got a shot off. Didn't do jack shit to the verbal wind. So yeah, unimpressive display of attacking power by SS Hitler, SS PZ-12, SS Hitler Jugend, whatever the fuck. But it doesn't matter because we haven't taken the other points enough during this match. But that was a funny grenade that he threw right into that thing. My grenade was better, I would like everybody to note. But yeah, so now he's shooting through the building. So I would like to see more aggression from Hitler Jugend, although I suppose holding his point against me is good enough because I am so amazing at this game that for anybody to hold a point against me the entire game, you have to be so brilliant, so unimpeachably excellent at everything and anything that you do, that really to impugn your abilities would just be ludicrous, is what I'm trying to say. So here's a Firefly. I bought a tank. Look, I'm a tank. I'm driving around with a Firefly. I'm going to shoot through the building. Oh man, I shot my own guy through the building. That wasn't good. Oh well, I'm just going to fire another AP shell. Oh, another Roboman's running away. Oh, where'd you go? I just briefly saw a shell in the air if you were looking very closely. Flew very close to the camera. Oh, let's drive my Firefly forward. Let's shoot the verbal wind. Let's shoot through the building again. Wow, I almost killed my own guy again. Whatever, this, you see, it's gonna be a comedy of errors. I just can't kill this verbal wind with a tank that's got a gun bigger than God. And now the verbal wind's out of there, I should probably not be so brazen with my Firefly. You see what happens. It gets hit in the side by a Shadoo. And probably next shot's gonna kill me. Is it? Nope, next shot's gonna hit a building. Excellent. Firefly should be shooting at the Shadoo, but it's not because it's through a building, so I aim through the building manually, but it's not letting me fire. For some reason, I have the wrong gun selected. I'm not sure I realize it. I don't think I realized it. Just now watching the video, I know why my Firefly isn't shooting. It's got the machine gun. No, then I swapped to the real gun, but then my Firefly's dead. So that's probably going to be GG with that Firefly dead. I'm not going to be able to shoot the Stug and the verbal wind push on through with my infantry. One of my 25 pounders died a while ago, and we were at 19 points. They were at 96. About a minute left, and I hope you've enjoyed this Men of War Assault Squad video. And if my voice sounded different, it's because I bought a new microphone. I promised to put all the profits from my YouTube channel back into the YouTube channel. I ran out of stuff to buy with the money, so I'm like, well, maybe I'll buy a microphone. I think my voice does sound better. This is a Yeti microphone, a Yeti, can't remember what it's called, but or it's a blue Yeti microphone. It sounds better, I think, than my shitty Platronics headset microphone. So if you like that, then there you go. If you hate my voice, perhaps you can hate it in higher fidelity now, and maybe the YouTube compression is just gonna make it sound shitty again. Here, go Gary Gallagher. I just need this AT rifle to kill this fucking verbal wind. It's like 10 feet away. Fire. No, it's just too weak to penetrate. So there you go. Metaphor for life, too weak to penetrate.